Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. For some reason. There we go. Got the game. Okay, so I hope everyone's having a good day. I am. And when we last left off, I was working on getting some resources. Let me go ahead and this, that. Oh, no. Metals we do want, but we don't want steel. Don't need iron. Let's check the quality of this. See what we get. Okay, so that's 17. That's 10. So 17 is the highest, which was the top. Ooh, that's a good number. Let's see if this one can beat it, though. Nope. Okay, so we're going with this. They're going this direction. See how close we can. Let me hit M. That way I see on my map where the bad guys are and I can avoid them and not get killed. Because I mean, yeah, we can do a bit of a fight, but these creatures are high level. Oh, let's steer this way. Not attract them. And walk around those. That. So like that. We'll set that 77. That 77 is going to be nice because we're going to get a lot of resources. Okay. So we hit survey again. Ooh, 88. Heading up there. Go tab. Yeah, we definitely don't want to fight them. On our way over here. Got a little bit of lag. Okay. And while I'm playing, if you guys have any questions about the game, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer them. You can even comment in the comments in the replay. Nope. Not what I wanted to do. I want to survey. Where did it go? Oh, it's over there. Okay. Working into the 90s. Nice. 94. Okay, other side of the river. I have to do a bit of swimming. That's okay. Closest I want to get, need to be on land to survey. Have right up ahead here. Got 95 right there. This is probably going to be the best that we're going to get. So we're going to start getting samples. Look at that amount. That's a good amount there. We're needing about 2,000 of aluminum. So it's going to take some time, and I don't have harvesters yet. I should probably buy a couple of harvesters, but then I also need to get energy gatherers so that I can power the harvesters. But I also want to find a good place to set up a settlement. A little sort of base of operations. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go here. I want to set my exploration. This, because another thing I'm going to do once I get these resources is I want to go and I need to get hides. I need to get bones because I need to make some bone armor to increase my crafting experience. And the reason I'm going crafting right now is I cannot find anywhere to buy my race's armor. No one's selling it. No one. So that makes it really, really hard. So I'm sort of doing it solo. But that's okay. Let's see. I can bring up my inventory. Yeah. This was the type of aluminum we were getting, but we were just starting to get it. But we got this other stack here that's going to add up real quick. Because I'm going to get the same amount of aluminum as I have steel. We did get the ore that we need. I'm just gathering up for being able to go through a good crafting session. And practice crafting. That way I can just sit at the crafting station and level up my crafting, because I bring up this right here. I can show you I'm armor smith right now, and so I got a good chunk of experience to get up higher, because I need to get to this, which actually I should probably also put in here. Armor smith. The harvest artifact. Okay. Goes into marksmanship. Don't want architect. Don't want carpenter. Don't want droid engineer. Where is armor smith? Oh wait, it's P. There we go. That's the one I'm looking at getting. Because once I get this, I can actually make the armor I'm looking at getting. Because as you can see here, actually no, never mind. It's not this one. It's once I'm in this one, armor 2 on this, I can make guardian armor. And that's what I'm working on getting, is guardian armor. So, but I mean, we're a good chunk in there. And the other thing I need to work on is in Scout. I need to work up my... I'm halfway through this, but by gathering the resources... Okay, that's a good question, Grant. The reason I chose this server, I played on Star Wars Galaxies EMU, and I played on Star Wars Galaxy Legacy, and they're both good servers for their own reasons. If you want the game the way it started out, EMU's really, really good. If you want the game the way it was when it shut down, Legacy is really, really good. I wanted the blended two. I didn't like that they switched to a class-based system. I liked it when it had the skill tree that Restoration has and EMU has. But EMU doesn't have the added planets that came with the expeditions. It doesn't have the space flight that Lightspeed came out with for the expansion. And so Restoration literally takes both of those servers and crams them together, and you get the feel of original sandbox Star Wars Galaxies, but you also have some quest givers in there. You don't have the class system, so it has everything I sort of really like. And that's what made me choose Restoration. Now, if you want actual classes to start out as a bounty hunter or whatever, you want to go with Legacy. If you want the feel original Star Wars Galaxies and you're not worried about the space flight and space combat, then go with EMU. If you want the mix like what I'm looking for, Restoration is your home. I mean, I still play on those other servers. I just find I enjoy playing on Restorations because that mix up a lot better. I hope that answers your question good enough. Probably a little too much detail, but hey. How we do? Okay, we're at 300. And the main reason I'm streaming Star Wars Galaxies right now, normally this time on Mondays, I'm streaming like game development stuff, and we're in the code process of stuff. And I'm not that good of a coder, but my business partner for the game development that we do is a really good coder, and so he's sort of walking me through the game coding and how to use blueprints in Unreal. And I'm still working on fine-tuning my graphics tablet because I switched from a 13-inch to a 16-inch graphics tablet. And for some reason, it didn't like the fact that I did the switch. I uninstalled the drivers, reinstalled the drivers, and it's still thinking I have a 13-inch, so I'm trying to solve that problem. Once I get that problem solved, on days where we're not doing coding, I want to do the artwork side of things where I can show you guys how to do textures and stuff like that. Most of a good chunk of the 3D models are pretty much done. Might have to redo them due to scaling issues that we're finding in Unreal. That and the accesses are different. I think the either the X or the Y-axis is flipped with the Z-axis. So I made the shooter for the game, it's showing it instead of facing forward, it's pointing up. So have to figure that out. But we'll get there. But in the meantime, I thought, hey, do some kind of streaming. I enjoy Star Wars Galaxies, and since I'm interested in waiting for Star's Reach to start going and make it so that I can actually do really good content on that, which a lot of it they're taking from the work that they've done on Star Wars Galaxies, because the developers that are working on Star's Reach are the same developers that worked on Star Wars Galaxies. They're the guys that actually implemented the crafting system and the skill tree that we're seeing here and stuff like that. They're taking that same philosophy and putting it into Star's Reach, which really interests me. And as a space-based MMO, I like the fact that they're not using any IPs. They're not taking a license of an IP like Star Wars Galaxies did, so that way they don't get shut down because they can't extend the license. So I think the only way that they're going to shut down is if they run out of money. Okay, yeah, and the reason I'm working up on this track here is I want to get to Bounty Hunter. I like being a bounty hunter in Star Wars games. Most people like being Jedis. I can go without it, but if I get a chance to be a bounty hunter, I like to be bounty hunters. So where are we at? Okay. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to keep this up, actually. I want to see how much I actually have in total. It's gonna take some time, but once I get this, I'm gonna go in back to Tatooine, and I'm gonna hunt some of the creatures there that are around my level to be able to do the exploration stuff and get the materials. So we're looking at a little while of just sort of sitting here chatting. Now, have any of you actually played Star Wars Galaxies, or do you currently play Star Wars Galaxies? And if you do currently play Star Wars Galaxies, what server do you play on, and why do you like playing on that server? I mean, for me, Star Wars Galaxies, I played from beginning till actually beta till they shut down. I got into beta, early stages of beta, and played it all the way till it shut down, just because it was fun. Oh, Empires and Flames server. I looked at that one, but I forgot what all it has. Because I know it's a bit different too. That's actually what I like about these private servers, Grant. It's the fact that these different private servers for these MMOs, they're each different. They each bring something different to the game. They change things up. And I really sort of like that they don't just bring it up and keep it the way it was, but they evolve them. They move past what they've done. I think it's like Legends has Bespin that put into the game. One of the servers added a bunch of more races people playing. Yeah, well, that's the problem I'm somewhat finding with Restoration. Is it's not as populated. You can find a bunch of people on Tatooine and Mos Eisley, but you go outside of that and you barely find anyone. It feels very lonely. So I'm with you there. I definitely need to recheck out Empires and Flames though, and see what the difference there is. I'm really hoping that Star's Reach will fill that void that Star Wars Galaxies had, because it's going to have updated graphics, updated mechanics, and stuff like that. And sort of bring in those players that like the gameplay mechanics of Star Wars Galaxies. That's my hope for it, at least. And the funny thing is I think with Star Wars Galaxies, it's running into the same problem that the City Heroes private servers are running into. The first couple of servers that come up are the ones that grab most of the player base. And then the new ones that come out, players are so stuck on having that community that they have on that one server, they're afraid to leave and go to the other servers. And I think that's the reason why Empires in Flames and like Restoration have a hard time getting a player base going. Is because they came out a while later. You know, it's like with City of Heroes, the Homecoming servers came out, everyone played on there, and then you got the Thunder Spy servers, the Restoration server, or Rebirth server, and stuff like that, and it doesn't have as much populations, but those came out years later, or like a year later. Excuse me. Oh, we're almost at 1,000. Nice. Now, what are your favorite? Why do you guys play Star Wars Galaxies? Is it because it's a Star Wars game? Is it because it's a space game? Is it because it's a sandbox game? Is it because of the specific mechanics that they put in? And if it's a specific mechanic, what mechanic? For me, it's the mechanics they put in. It's the skill-based system that they have to create your character, along with the fact that they made it so that there are classes that aren't combat oriented that get experience. You have classes like the Entertainer and the Doctor that they get experience from healing and buffing. You got craftsmen where actually crafting matters because the best weapons and armor are made by crafters because they can customize like the armor and the look and the paint. They can customize the durability and stuff like that. And so that really interests me there, and that's what I really like about Star Wars Galaxies. The second thing is that it's a Star Wars game. Well, and that's the interesting thing. In original Star Wars Galaxies, you could choose to start off on Naboo, you could choose to start off on Tatooine and stuff like that. And all of the, it's like Naboo, Tatooine, and like maybe one other planet had newbie areas to start out with. Because, well, they went off of what worked well for them with EverQuest. Because this game was made by Sony Online Entertainment. And with that being done, they had multiple starting cities. I mean, heck, they had more than that. They had, let's see, there's the Gnome starting area, There's the High Elf starting area, there's the Wood Elf starting area, there's the Dwarf starting area, there's 2 human starting cities, a Dark Elf starting city, a Troll starting city, an Ogre starting city, an Erudite starting city, and a Barbarian starting city. So that's a lot of starting cities. And they were all being used too, and it sort of broke things up so that not everyone's at the same starting city, and that's why I like, because if your MMO is very, very popular and everyone's crammed in one newbie area because it's the only newbie area to go to, things get over hunted very, very easily. And so, having multiple newbie starting areas spreads out the population a bit. And then it gives a reason for people to explore, to meet up who are in different races or start off in different newbie cities. Let's do this. It's right where I was sitting. Nice. All I have to do is just stand up and sit back down again. And it gave me the same amount. Bummer. I'm going to go AFK for just a moment to get myself up another drink. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Cool, we hit the 1K mark. How much into the 1K are we in? 1,200. Of course, I could have just looked up here too. I forgot about that. Let's see. Getting there. Yeah, I'm on Naboo, right outside Theed. So getting back won't be that hard. Or when I go to hunt creatures. Because they changed Theed. I do need to find myself a doctor though so I can heal up. Because I do have that chunk of health missing. That's the other thing I liked about Star Wars Galaxies. It was one of the first games that put unconscious stats. So they wouldn't kill you, they'd just knock you unconscious, and then when you woke up, you wouldn't go back up to your full health. You'd miss a chunk of health like what's showing right here. And the more that happened, the lower this would get. I thought that was really cool because then that makes us doctors are really, really useful. I also need to go to the scrap dealer and get rid of some of the stuff that I have. I got a power hammer. This is the image on the power hammer. Attack speed. Not as good as my pistol. 104 there. Of course, this isn't nowhere near as good as what my current carbon is. It's the current one I have. Look at that damage. That's a nice step of damage. I have another sort of rifle here. Not as good. Let's keep an eye on this though. Well, look up Star's Reach, Grant. So with Star's Reach, they are going with that same sandbox, open world, create your own adventure, but instead of just having like a handful of planets, like they're looking at doing hundreds or thousands of planets. And like I said, it's created by the same developers that made Star Wars Galaxies, and they want to have sort of that same feel. And they are planning on making it very community based because they want to take sort of the same crafting idea and the same idea for entertainers and doctors, so that people work together to build things and do things and stuff like that. And the great thing is they're actually starting testing in a couple weeks. And it's not an open test. It's a very small, they said something like 50 people that they're inviting to this test. And it's just basic movements. Can you move around in the world? And they're going to say, okay, move over here, jump, things like that. And they're going to give directions for people to do to sort of test things out. Which is a smart way to do things, because in game development, that's how you literally test things. And you constantly go back and retest that stuff later on, for the pure simple fact that when you're adding in more code and more art, that can break other parts of the game later on. You could be further down the line, and let's say you add in the crafting system later on. That could end up breaking something in the combat system, or breaking something in the movement system, or the flight system, or the home building system and stuff like that. So it's always going back and double checking those things. But with MMOs and having players testing the game early on, they don't have to worry about that, because the players are going to keep an eye on that and let the developers know, hey, this got broken now that was working. Yes, and that art style, I really like that style of art. That's a hand painted texture art, and the reason I like that style, and you also gotta remember that this isn't even an alpha yet. So that's not even their finished product of what the art is going to look like. That's just giving something that looks somewhat nice. So they're just barely past the prototype stage. I mean, right now they're in sort of like the pre-alpha stage. And, so the art could look even better or different. So, because during the alpha stage, the art direction can change. They could go, we want to go a different direction with our art. Maybe they decide later on that they want to go Borderlands style art, or they want to go maybe a more pixelated style art, or they want to go a little bit more realistic and not so cartoony. And that can all sort of change during the alpha phase. It's once they're in the beta phase, they'll have locked down the art style. And all that they really have to do is just produce more art to make everything fit and feel right and feel cohesive, so that something doesn't break immersion. Because if you're sitting there playing a game and it's got sort of a Wild Star art aspect, and then one building has realistic graphics and a vehicle has sort of Borderland graphics, that's going to break your immersion. You're not going to feel like you're in one cohesive world. It's sort of like, for instance, the City Heroes. The different City Hero servers do a good job in making sure that everything feels like it was, when City Heroes was out, except for one server has it to where they're doing their own graphical thing for the new stuff that they put in, and it just breaks immersion. Their icons just stick out like a sore thumb so badly. The graphics that they implement, they don't scale things right to fit and stuff like that, and it's just sort of, it breaks immersion. And when it breaks immersion for me, it makes me want to walk away from the game, because the main things I look for in a game is good gameplay mechanics, stable code, and that everything fits well together graphically. It doesn't matter the graphic styles. I don't need the latest and greatest in 3D models. I don't need the best textures out there. I can deal with 16-bit textures and then being a little bit of blocky look, sort of like Minecraft has, and that's fine. But make it everything fit together in that way. If you have different looking things and stuff like that, texture wise and graphics, like, you have a bunch of low poly stuff, and then you have this one really high polyed character that sort of breaks immersion for me. Because that one thing that's different is always going to stand out. We're not that far off. I think probably about 6 more extractions and we'll be good. I'm glad you see it that way. I mean, the game I'm working on, right? I'm going with the hand-painted art style. Make it so it looks like a mix between World of Warcraft style and Wild Star style. And the reason I chose that art style is because it doesn't age the game. Whereas if you use something like realistic graphics, the game's age shows. Because as technology progresses, the realistic graphics get better and better and better. If you take a realistic graphics game from today and a realistic graphics game from 10 years ago, you can really heavily tell the difference. Whereas if you take something like World of Warcraft and look at today, it still looks really, really good. And I've had, in fact, on a lot of my my City Heroes videos and live streams, people always ask, how did you get the graphics from an old game to look that good? And it's hand-painted textures. I mean, heck, the characters don't even have all movable fingers. It's a mitten. It's the 4 fingers are all one part of the model and then a separate thumb. And I tell them I didn't. This is the natural graphics of it because they did hand painted textures. And so a lot of the games I want to do are hand painted textures. It's what I enjoy doing. Yes, I can do realistic textures, but when doing realistic textures, all you're doing is you're just taking a photo and then you're touching that photo up in Photoshop, and that's it. Whereas with hand painted textures, you're using a photo as a reference, and then you're going from scratch, painting things out. Once I get my graphics tablet issue resolved, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do things like a wood texture, how to do a bark texture, how to do grass, how to do metal, how to do water, and stuff like that. Exactly, Grant. Exactly. Right on. That's how I feel too. I take it your dad's a big gamer, and let me guess, he got you into gaming. Because there's things that my dad did that he got me heavily hooked on. He wasn't into gaming at all. He was into cycling. And I'm a big cyclist. I love doing cycling tours. I like going out and cycling hundreds of miles and just doing trips like that. In fact, I have one planned in September, beginning of September, that I'm going to be doing. And I like doing that because my dad got me into it. The reason I got into the game development industry and making games is because I was actually looking at going to college. And I called up my dad and I said, I'm having a hard time figuring out what my major should be for college. And my dad just says, game design. Go do game design. What? Really? Because my dad's a minister. He's a Christian minister. He's like, yeah, go for game design. As a kid, you've always been into games, not just playing them, but writing up new rules, creating your own things. I remember you being in junior high and helping out friends in making a collectible card game, not just for fun, but as a business. And you were really good about it and you had a lot of fun with it. Go to school for game design. Learn how they professionally do it and make that your career. And I went and did it, and I'm not disappointed one bit. Okay, we got the 2000. So I'm going to stand up. I'm going to close these windows out. Lock this down. We're going to go over this way. Actually, let's bring up the speeder. Oh, played WoW for 15 years. Yeah, I played EverQuest. That was my first experience in MMOs. I played that for about 5 years. And then got into Star Wars Galaxies, PlanetSide, and City of Heroes. And I did about, I'd say, a good chunk of Star Wars Galaxies throughout its lifetime. Sometimes it was an off and on thing. PlanetSide, I did heavy for about 2 or 3 years. And then Star Wars Galaxies, I just never dropped playing that game. Or not Star Wars Galaxies, City of Heroes. So, I mean, heck, I'm still playing City of Heroes to this day. I'm getting back into Star Wars Galaxies for the hype of Star's Reach. That coming back out because I've always liked Star Wars Galaxies, but I have a hard time playing on the servers because either they don't have the exact feel of what I'm looking for, or like restorations, there's just not a big population. So, you know, I get sort of really lonely and bored. I don't have that problem in City Heroes because, well, there's really not that. It's not as heavy on the crafting as Star Wars Galaxies is. No, there's you don't have to craft in City of Heroes, whereas in Star Wars Galaxies, you have to have crafters on the server. You don't have crafters on the server to get what you want, you're gonna have a real struggle. Sort of like what I'm having now. If Restoration had more of a active population on it, I wouldn't have a problem finding what I'm trying to find. Well, heck, you don't even need that if you play on Thunder Spy. If you play on Thunder Spy, they took the guild hideouts and made them personal. You can make your own personal hideout. You don't need to register for a guild. I don't think this is the spaceport. Nope, this is not the spaceport. Spaceport's probably more over this way. This way, I see the bridge over there. That's gotta be the spaceport. That building over there to my left. Another reason I like Thunder Spy is you can actually customize your pets. Not just your mastermind pets, but all pets. Controller pets. You know, if for some reason you have a blaster and you get pet, you can customize that pet. They also made it so that all pets can be given commands to attack, heal, follow, and stuff like that. Which I really like. So the only difference between masterminds and any other pet class is just the amount of pets you get. But then you also have Purgatory, which is another cool server, because Purgatory lets you have double the amount of pets. So instead of having 6 pets, you get 12 pets. And the great thing is they don't have to all be the same time. You could go robotics and undead. You could go thugs mercenary, or you could go demon undead, or you could go beast robotics. They have a huge amount that they've added in customization. You seeing a player over here? There's a player here. Cool. Let's see if they know a place where I can buy See how helpful they are. If they're even there. Or if they're just AFKing stuff. And not much in PvP. There is a lot in raiding. So they do a lot of the raids that go on, or what are called task force in City Heroes. They're not responding, so they're just sort of AFK'd. Go here. Gonna use this. I'm gonna go to Tatooine. Mos Eisley Spaceport. Wait, no, I think I got a round trip, so I can get back. I did do a round trip. I don't need to buy a ticket. I almost wasted money. I've done the Bazaar. I looked at the Bazaar and tried to get armor that way. And there just is none for my race. So let me get to Tatooine and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because most stuff is sold in Tatooine anyways. Apparently I was wrong. I only got a one-way ticket when I went here. We're here. Use here, purchase the ticket. Okay, there we go. So yeah, when I get to Tatooine, I'll double check the Bazaar, because you never know, someone may have put in Ethosian armor up on there, because it was only a couple weeks at least. There we go. Now we'll hit Mos Eisley. And the reason I want to do it Mos Eisley, besides that's where most of the vendors are for the Bazaar pickup, because that's the other thing I liked about Star Wars Galaxy, is the Bazaar wasn't just there for you to purchase things and then you got it. You pay for the purchase, but you still had to travel to where the merchant's location was. So sometimes you'd have to travel to another planet and then go to their building where their merchant was to pick up the item. I thought that was really, really cool, because then it wasn't just, oh, use the Bazaar to get your item. It was use the Bazaar as a way to advertise about your store, and then the person could mark your store for future use to buy items later on down the road. Okay, so we got that. Now we were gonna head out. We'll head to the Bazaar first. Doctors are all staying at the spaceport. Okay, what direction was the bazaar? Am I going that way? Go this way. Oh, bad collision. Okay, there's the bazaar. Over here. Browse market. Not clothing. Armor. Let's start with armor. Ooh, someone actually has some. 25,000. How much do I actually have? Buy one, but I want to start with the helm first. So let me go here. Legs. And head. That's what I'm looking for. No results. $5,000. Let's buy this. Okay, so let me open this. Click on this. Too worn to be wearable. Oh, you're joking. Okay, fine. Let's try something else. Hands. Actually, do we have any sentinel gloves? No. No. Let's do hands. Oh, no, I'm selected. Helps if I select the item, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. Yep, there we go. How much money do I have left? 10,000 and 0 in the bank. So I need to make more money. Okay, so we'll go back into here. Click here. We'll go back to armor. Head. Let's do entire galaxy. Oh, there we go. Thank you for the help on this. Oh, wow, there's a lot. Okay. There's where I was making my mistake. It's been so long since I played the game. Grant, thank you so much for the advice. You were so helpful on that. Still need money though. Actually, I could buy this one. Tatooine. Create a waypoint. Let's open up the map. Said create waypoint, right? Yeah. That's that. Ah, here we go. What's that waypoint for? Okay, that's in the city. I created a waypoint for it. Didn't create one. Oh, no, it did. It's right there. Okay. I need to go that direction. Well, I appreciate you remembering. You have better memory than I do. Let me actually open that back up again. Activate waypoint. There we go. Let's go get our helmet. I can actually stop all the harvesting and actually... Well, I still gotta do the harvesting of the bones and the hide. But I'll be able to sell it. And by selling that, I'll make some money, along with doing some quests. Oh, there it is. Just a little city outside the city, a little town outside the major city. It's the suburbs of Mos Eisley. If he has good prices, I might be able, for that 5,000 people, get the... So that's just the location. Bill tapes, tools, spaceships, pharmaceuticals, collectibles, armor. Here we go. Oh, I'm doing gloves. I don't want gloves. I want head. That's come on. Close. This. Ha 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 ha! Oh man. How much money do we have? Oh, we definitely gotta go sell some stuff. I have a helmet! I have a helmet! Been trying for a long time to get one. JG, I like that. Star Wars plus Elder Scrolls. Yeah, in a way. But then, you know, Star's Reach will come out and inter-exit vehicle. Fine, let's store the item. We're gonna actually keep that mark because he's probably gonna have. Where's the book? So it doesn't is. So then, what's the point, Grant, in leveling up your character? If you don't have to get points to them, how do you go about leveling up your character? That's what I'm wondering about. Just right on the edge of a huge dune. Excuse me. Yeehaw! No, no. Can't harvest those guys. Level 5 is a little too simplistic. Back to level 2, 3s. Might have to get further away from the okay. So it's basically instead of spending points, you're spending experience to level up things. So as long as you have experience, you're able to get the skill. You don't have to actually work on the skill to get it, is what you're saying. Ah, okay. What if I could take on a yellow? I could try. Probably don't want to, though. I just got my armor. I don't want it to get damaged. I'm a bit worried. I don't want to scratch the new armor. It's pretty bad when you buy new armor to protect yourself and then you're worried about using the armor because you don't want to damage the armor that you just bought. I'm not looking for experience. I'm looking to just harvest, so... Harvest. Let's do some bones. Probably should get something higher level, get more experience. Only level 3 up there. Find some good creatures. Either green or blue is what I'm looking for. Looks like a junkyard area or something crashed here. More like something crashed here just because of the way the pieces are. Of course, this is a sand planet, so with the storms and stuff, things getting covered up is very easily and quickly happen, so if it was on something like Naboo or Kashyyyk, then I'd think, okay, yeah, it's a crash, but with it being a oh, there we go, we have greens over here. Here we go. Oh, that's loot. Nice, yeah, get more out of that. Finally getting some combat in. Okay, nothing. Get bones off of him. Nice, good shot there. The one thing I hope Stars Reach fixes is the slow combat. That's the one thing that does bother me about Star Wars Galaxies is the slow combat. I prefer a little bit more fast-paced combat. But hey, at least we're getting our harvesting up. Let's do this instead. We'll do a charge shot. Oh, hey, we pulled two. There we go. Let's pull back a ways. There we go. We got him. Hang on. Harvest the hide. Loot. Ooh, got an eye. I will sell it to a junk vendor well. 11. And hey, look at that. Our exploration is going up pretty good. That, I hope they also fixed the starting attack animations. Ooh, got a crit hit on that. Yeah, I do like the combat in theory. I mean, the only thing I don't like is that every action, when you do an action, it puts everything on cooldown. I would separate that out and make it to where certain types of actions put certain type, put that type in cooldown. So if you have like a single target one, put your single target ones on cooldown. If you have area effect ones, put the area effect ones on cooldown and stuff like that. Yeah, let's hunt those. I'm getting 10, but how's that doing experience wise? Still gives me the same. Oh, now it did the actual shooting. Oh, someone just leveled up. Got 95% crit hit on that. Ooh, 114. Someone else leveled up. Yes, they do have Jedi and restorations. I believe they used the original way to get Jedis, which was you had to find the crystal. I might not have survived this. I aimed and shot the wrong one. Yep, I'm down. Hey, I think I did pretty decent on that. Now I just gotta find all those bodies and harvest them. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was my bad. Maybe I should just stick to fighting the beetles. Ooh. Wait. Yeah, I need to heal up, so I'm gonna go over here. Oh, I can only examine it. I can't sit in it? There we go. Just had to get close enough to be able to sit in it. So there we go. That's the look of my character so far. Gotta get the rest of the armor, which I'm working on. I need to go AFK for just a moment. I will be right back. This time I'm actually gonna put my be right back sign. Okay, I am back. So let me stand up here. Head back out there and fight more creatures. Because my exploration is about to level. There we go. Oh, good critical hit there. That's a good one. How the heck did I get knocked out by a toad that doesn't even go to my what is it? My ankle. Oh, that's good. Best MMO RPG game. Oh, that varies for me. If I'm wanting just to have fun, whether I'm soloing or grouping, I'd have to say for me is City Heroes. If I'm looking for ones that build communities around them, I have to say EverQuest before they added in the ease to solo, or Star Wars Galaxies. And the reason I mentioned Star Wars Galaxies as a group-focused MMO is you don't have to group to fight, but to get equipment, to be able to craft. I mean, even the crafters had to rely on each other. You had to rely on entertainers to buff you. You had to rely on doctors to heal you, and stuff like that. And I really like that. But I mean, even to this day, I play City Heroes on multiple different servers just because the character creation is the most addictive part of City Heroes. Okay, Cole, have a good day. Ooh, we leveled up. Gotta go back to our, oh, we don't have the cash. I need to hit a vendor. Junk dealer. Oh, it was insane. I spent hours making characters. And most of the time, I'm not big into character creation. But with City Heroes, creating characters, there's so many costume options. The fact that you can do a catchphrase and put bio in and stuff like that is just amazingly fun. And so I spend a lot of time with that. And the fact that when you're playing City Heroes and you get in there, you look unique. You look original. You don't. There's not like hundreds of people that look like you running around. Name another MMO where you, from the get-go, look unique. It's the only one I know of where you look original from the very beginning. And heck, even in higher levels, you still look original. Because most other MMOs like WoW, EverQuest, and Final Fantasy Online, there's a set stat of, things that, certain classes want to be top tier. The idea that your look doesn't determine how powerful you are, it's your enhancements and how you use them and how your player plays. That's what's important. What was the junk dealer? Nickel facility. I remember where the junk dealer was back here. Actually, I'm seeing a junk dealer up over here. I need to be up over that way anyways. I'll go this way instead. I mean, certain games do things really, really well. Say Heroes, character customization looking unique. Group gameplay and creating social type MMOs, EverQuest, Star Wars Galaxies. Good MMO FPS, the best one I've ever played, PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2 are amazing. That's the pilot trainer. He inside the building then? I think he's inside the building. There's a dancer. Gotta go all the way around. There's the pirate trainer. Junk dealer, yep, he was inside. Off all this stuff. Got a long list of stuff to sell. Not doing any melee, so I can sell that. Wish it would quit moving my camera when I click sell. Wish they had a button for sell all junk. That would be a nice ad. Make things a lot quicker. Okay, how much money do I have? 7,000. Nice. Grant, yeah, I've had issues like that happen too. I had it happen in City Heroes. I had something almost like that happen in EverQuest. So in EverQuest, I ran across, I had a Shadow Knight named Black Skull, and I ran across a monk named Red Skull. And he goes, hey, look, he messaged me. He goes, hey, look, we have similar names. I said, yeah, how did you come up? What reason came up with yours? And he goes, well, actually, I named it after your character. I'm like, why did you name it after my character? And he goes, do you remember a dwarf that you helped out when you were going through butcher blocks? And I said, yeah, I remember a dwarf. I, helped him out, gave him some armor, and then helped sort of level him up. He's like, yeah, I'm that dwarf. I was so inspired by what you'd done for me and seeing you do these Bane death pulls and stuff like that. I decided to create a new character and make a monk. Turned out to be an amazing monk player. Yeah, I've yet to see another MMO outdo City Heroes in character customization. I think the closest it's gotten is Anarchy Online. That's just the clothing selection. And Anarchy Online actually saved a guy $10,000 a month. And the reason it saved him $10,000 a month was because he basically his wife loved shopping. And so she was spending $10,000 a month in on the credit card. And when she saw him playing Anarchy Online and noticed that there was a bunch of stuff to buy, she's like, whoa, can I play this game with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. She started doing all of her shopping in Anarchy Online. So all he had to do was just do a bunch of missions to get money for her in game or help her get money, and she'd do all the shopping in Anarchy Online. So his credit card bill went from $10,000 a month down to $15 a month because he was just paying for the subscription of her Anarchy Online account. This was before they did microtransactions in MMOs. This was when MMOs were only subscription based. Sniper, Pistolier, no. Okay, this is all brawler stuff. Squad leader. Tactical officer, okay. Wrestling games, yes, wrestling games do have high amounts of customization. You are right, Duke. He did, but he loved his wife. He didn't want to divorce her. So he came up with, you know, the idea of, hey, let's, you know, I mean, if you love someone, you know, instead of not trying to figure out a way to solve the problem, you know, what if you could solve the problem and keep the marriage going and be around that person you love? Like Grant, don't ruin the story. There we go. We're now level 3 in exploration. Oh, jump for joy. Let's head back out. We still have 5,000, so we made a good amount off that. Happy endings happen as long as you don't hear the full story. That's good, Grant. Oh. So you're telling me stories like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty all have bad endings at some point in the story. It's just they're ending the story early. What level are these? Oh, cool. Yep, you make a great point right there. Oh, that's good. That's possible. I mean, lawyers are very expensive, unless you can find a lawyer pro bono. Cool. System there. It's gonna be a little bit slow. Nothing. Oh, just did a regular. So you hope that he gets the whole entire made out of wood thing figured out. I mean, if you don't read the story could have ended that he fell into a wood chipper. But, stopping at the end, you don't know, so you can walk away happy. You really want to get critical and things like that, you could literally start off with, in a land far, far away, there's a princess. The end. Dig in. This way some. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the Grimm fairy tales. They all ended badly, but then were rewritten for children. That is a bonus to not fully reading a story, is you can always make up your own ending of how you'd see it would end. But then there are some people who just have to know what the ending is that the writer intended. So, finally getting some loot. Yeah. Exactly. Good point, Duke. mean, heck, the way kids are raised nowadays is totally different than the way I was raised as a kid. If I threw a tantrum in a store, my mom wasn't worried. I would have gotten a whooping right there in the middle of the store. Now, granted, she didn't hit to bruise or hurt or anything like that. It was more of a startle tactic. You know, it was more of a swat on the butt type of thing, but you know, so you felt more embarrassed than anything else. I don't like that. Before me, his demise at the hands of a woodchopper is an interesting hook to start a story. That would be an interesting way to start a story. That'd make people want to know how the hell you get to being in the demise of a woodchopper. I did it again. Got to select hide. Oh, pulled two. It's not a bad thing. Just means I don't have to worry about pulling one, but I'm gonna have to rest probably afterwards. Duke, Pinocchio halfway in the wood chopper and pauses and he says, I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation. Fourth wall break. Ooh, got some legs. Larva. Let's sort of rest for a moment and heal up. Hey, for some reason, a lot of people like to hear things that are upsetting. And that's the sad part. You know, I mean, politicians do the same thing. They use fear tactics to get you to vote for them. I don't vote for politicians that use fear tactics. I vote for the politicians who bring up an actual problem that's real and have a solution to fix it that feels right to me. That's how I vote for them. The other way I vote is, do they try to do what they're setting out to do? Not do they do what they're trying to do they try? If they make a promise to do something and they do nothing about it, or they try to take credit for something they voted no on, I will not vote for that politician. If a politician, on the other hand, states that they're going to do something, even if they are unable to get it done, but they at least try, and other politicians stop them from making that happen, I'll still vote for the politician that tried to do that something that I agree with. That's how I choose my politicians. Just like how I treat people. You know, I don't look at the skin, I don't look at their sex, I don't look at anything like that. I look at how well do they treat other people. They treat other people with respect and dignity. I will be just as respectful and just as treat them with just as much dignity. Okay, fully healed up. Vote for me in upcoming elections? No. In no way do I want to be a politician. Duke 2024. Hail to the king, baby. Is that what your slogan's gonna be, Duke? Oh, Duke has my vote. Yeah, and who in their right mind would vote for someone named Controlled Chaos? You know you're just asking for trouble at that point. He's setting up for me. Hey, it's a simple campaign message. It was simple, straightforward. Yeah, but you've been hearing me talk about stuff. If you were just to go off the name Controlled Chaos, would you really vote for someone like that? But the chaos is controlled. Okay, you have a point there, Grant. The chaos is controlled. But how much of that chaos is controlled? I mean, in a way, you got a point, because look at how chaotic politicians act and how much stuff actually gets done by politicians. There's more fighting with politicians than you see in a boxing match or an MMA fight. They're always arguing and disagreeing. That percentage is better than no percentage. So, knowing that my name is Controlled Chaos, you know that at least there'd be some control of my chaos, unlike the current politicians we have. Go. Got that shot off. Now let's get this other bug. I have to rest after this fight. There we go. Shoot. Ooh. Couple things in that. Harvest. Shoot. Nothing. Harvest. Hide. Go. We're gonna rest some. We're about a quarter of the way through part 3 of so let's see, we go out. Yeah, so we only need to do 2 more and then we can get Bounty Hunter. Yeah, some political sketches can be really funny. You guys ever see that movie where Robin Williams plays a comedian that ends up running for president? I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. But anyways, when they did the part where he's up on stage campaigning, all they told Robin Williams is, we have not written out the sketch for this. We cannot be as funny as you. All you need to do is just tell political jokes. And they brought a whole bunch of extras in and did that, and half the laugh was from the crew. It's the one time the crew is allowed to be loud and laughing and having fun and cheering on. It was really, really good. In fact, a lot of studios, like when they hired Robin Williams, will actually not script a lot of the stuff he says. They let him go free range because it ends up being funnier than what they had scripted. And that's a great sign of a comedian. Man of the Year, thank you. I greatly appreciate you looking that up. Because if I went to look it up, I have it running off of my display instead of off the game, because of it being a unique launcher. See, that's the thing. I don't like it when people do that sort of smear campaigns. I want them to talk about the issues that they're going, that they're running on and how they're going to solve the problem. People who attack the other politician and call them names, I personally don't like. I like politicians who say, this is what I'm going to do, and then work towards actually doing that. And are within the values of what I'm looking for. Now, when you're with what you're talking about, Grant, it being a skit, it's meant to be comical. So that I would actually watch. Come on. There we go. Okay. Give me a moment here. Okay, I just noticed what time it is. I need to head out. I have some errands I have to run. I'm gonna read this last comment here. Dignity, decorum, and politics. Now that's funny. Yes, that is. A very, very good point. But I am going to go ahead and log. I want to thank you guys all for watching. And if you want to catch other streams that I do and updates on videos I release, hit the subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and you'll be able to catch it, because I stream and do videos on City of Heroes, No Man's Sky, game development, a game I'm developing. On Fridays, I do a tabletop pen paper RPG that I run with some friends and community members. We're actually still looking for 3 people to join, so if you're interested in doing tabletop RPG and don't mind your voice being recorded, you can feel free to join the Discord, send me a DM, let me know. We'll get you all set up into that, and you guys all have a good night.